Do you owe Corey $20,000?
Me? Can you whoop Corey? Let me say this. Why would I tell Corey what I'm doing with that money?
Right.
I heard him say, oh, he got the money and then he bought a car. But then get on the radio and say, I'm ducking you.
Right.
I can't duck you if I'm there for 3 years sitting right next to you.
What's up, good people? It's the Poor Black Man. I respect your time and I respect your intelligence. So we're going to do a breakdown of the Kraig Zoe Williams interview. And I chopped it up. I summarized everything. So, you know, we're not going to be here for 2 hours. Let's just jump right into it so I can give you my colorful feedback.
Can you whoop Corey? Let me say this. This ain't I'll beat Corey's ass. He said that on this show.
Right.
But when I offered him the hands, he didn't say it on his show.
Right.
I was right there.
Okay.
Not because I'm Billy Badass.
No.
Just, hey, if this is the only way we can solve it, let's solve it that way.
Sometimes it has that.
I watch Zoe ask Corey, we can go outside. And Corey was like, nah, we ain't doing none of that. Ain't nobody fighting. We ain't about to be fighting. And then as time went on, he was like, because I ain't Aries Spears. But Zoe said, we can go outside. He said that. And then when Corey went on to Kraig's show, he was like, oh, I beat Zoe ass. You know, we're dealing with facts. Let's move on to the next. What we got?
But then get on the radio and say, I'm ducking you.
Right.
I can't duck you if I'm there for 3 years sitting right next to you.
I said that in my previous video. How is Zoe ducking Corey when you're sitting next to him? You see, I'm not a chat room goon. And that's 5150 talk. I'm not a chat room goon. I ain't got time to be in nobody's chat room. I watch 5150 when I get a chance to watch it. I may watch it on my way to, listen to it on my way to work, whatever the case may be. But I don't deal with situations based on how much I like the person. I only deal with facts. I respect your time and I respect your intelligence. Zoe was sitting right next to Corey, so I knew there was more to the story because Corey was like, you ducked my attorneys. And according to Zoe, that's not what happened. Let's get into it.
Right.
To me, that's a problem. You felt like I was ducking you while you smiling? Come on, man, don't do that. See, a lot of people sit around thinking, oh, Zoe didn't have counsel, right? Or Corey just had counsel, lawyers dealing with that. But I had my own counsel too.
Right, definitely. Okay.
He asked, could you write a letter? I went into my iPhone notes. I wrote that letter. October 31st, 2017. I wrote that letter. And I was going to send that letter to Corey. My people said, don't send that.
Your lawyer.
Yeah.
Right.
My legal advice said, don't send that. I told Corey, I said, my people said I shouldn't send this.
Right.
This isn't advantageous.
So it wasn't that Zoe ducked his attorneys. It was that Zoe was advised by his attorneys not to send this letter. And Corey's attorney, they were like, hey, we need this letter from Zoe. And if you've ever been in any legal situation, anybody that knows that's actually paid for an attorney, listen to your attorney.
Didn't send this.
Right.
This isn't advantageous for me. Right? Now, I reached out to my legal team and I'm waiting for them to hit me back to let me know if the case was dismissed with or without prejudice. Because I forgot.
Right.
If it was or not. If it's dismissed with prejudice, I can talk about the details of why I couldn't send that letter.
Right.
So he still needs to figure out, can they talk about this? Can he respond to Corey with the details from the case? Because if he cannot, it may lead to another case. Come on now.
Right.
If it's dismissed without prejudice, I can't talk about it.
Right.
And so that was one of the things that bothered me quite a bit. Why are we talking about it?
Right.
Can we stop talking about it? Right? Because if we don't know if it's with or without prejudice, or we don't remember, or I know I don't remember, right?
Right.
Why am I going to talk about something that could possibly spark another case?
Right.
So I said, let me just shut the fuck up. Now, who I wasn't quiet with was Corey. I told Corey these things.
All right, let's go to the next clip. Here we go.
Or if Zoe is broke.
Right.
It's one of my favorite parts where he talks about money and Zoe being broke. Let me ask you guys something. Do you have 20,000? And answer in the comments. Be honest. Do you have 20,000 available, 20,000 liquid that you can just give to somebody, cash somebody out? Ask yourself that question, because for everybody on the outside looking in, it's easy to get on the internet and give our opinions, but when you're calling this man broke, you need to make sure you don't have a glass house. Because if you ain't balling, I'm not even gonna use the word balling. If you're not sitting on, hundreds of thousands of dollars liquid, and even if you are, that's not rich. Let's get into it.
Nigga, you want to talk about broke? Can I just do this real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to talk about broke? Broke is having to work.
So if you have to go to work, he's saying you're broke. His argument is that if you can't quit your job and never work again, then you might be broke. There are people who do not have to work at all. There are people who do not have to work. Another day again. There's some people that work because they enjoy it, and then there's people that work because we need to work. I'm one of those people. I need to go to work, right? I like my check. I'm one of those people. I need that.
Do you understand?
Period.
Having to work all the fucking time. If my brother Corey said one of the most profound things ever, when the money gets low, the hungriness shows.
Right.
Listen, if Hollywood has closed the door and you got to stay on the road, is that wealthy? We all broke in America as black people. We got 2.6% of the nation's wealth.
Right.
White people have $100 trillion in this economy. Black people have less than 3. And you talking about broke? We all broke. But let me tell you where I'm not broke. My granddaughter, my son, got through school because I was there every day. That's wealth, dog. You got motherfuckers talking about Zoe hiding in a book. Nigga, that's one of the worst euphemisms ever told about black people. You want to hide something, put it in a book. Nigga, you hide behind your books.
They say if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. Old school.
Do you owe Corey $20,000?
Me?
Yes.
I owe him on principle.
So what Zoe is saying on principle means that he is taking responsibility. Although there was no judgment against him, he is not legally responsible for paying, or he didn't pay Ari Spears. I'm guessing they settled. So he doesn't technically he doesn't owe anybody anything, but on principle he's saying, I am the reason we were in court because I lost my cool. So on principle, I need to pay you back, and I'm going to pay you back. He's saying that he's going to pay him back.
Definitely on principle. You know why? That's that man's show. and I am responsible for how I behave. That's that man's show.
Right.
And I consider that man a friend.
Right.
So definitely, on principle, I owe him that. Of course I would.
But I want to ask you this because
I like this Brandon cat. I like Brandon because he asks really good questions. I really don't enjoy when people interview celebrities and they play it safe. Like Charlemagne used to ask those tough questions, but he doesn't do it anymore. And I'm not really a big fan of Charlemagne, but I was a fan of him asking those questions on the Breakfast Club. Like really, really, really pressing the celebrities and asking those real questions.
ask you this because there's a lot of people that donated to your GoFundMe. And
Great
it
question.
raised up to $39,000, and they feel that you didn't do what you promised to do them.
Right.
So maybe Corey's saying that because he saw you get a lick at $39,000 and didn't create that studio.
Right.
So what do you say to your supporters and the donors that donate to that? And they're looking for this, and it's been now 3 years.
Man, that's a beautiful question. And speaking of the 39 grand, only 8 of it has been spent. 5 grand was spent on Frank, my engineer at the time.
Right.
3 grand was spent on equipment and cameras, and 30 grand is in an account.
Right.
But why would I say that to Corey?
Right.
See, this is what capping is about.
I agree. It's none of Corey's business.
Why would I tell Corey what I'm doing with that money?
Right.
I heard him say, oh, he got the money and then he bought a car. From 2005 until 2019, I got 3 books out that all are still selling well.
Definitely.
Right? Not well enough to give this man 20 grand.
Everything always tends back to the 20K. How much of the 20K have you paid him back yet?
First off, everybody's talking about 20K. But I talked to Corey the moment I found out how much he paid, and I said, I'm going to pay you back.
In full or in payments?
I'm going to pay you back. I didn't make up no payments. I didn't do none of that shit. This ain't Rent a Center. I didn't do none of that shit. I just told him straight up.
What I'm saying is, let's say at one point you have an extra $2 grand. Why not shoot? Why does he have to wait for the whole amount?
Well, I'll tell you this. This is why I see it as a cap too. I'm taking care of my son.
That's not Corey's problem.
It's not. But listen to what I'm saying. You asking where's this extra 2?
Absolutely.
Where this extra 2 grand coming from? Right. There is no extra 2 grand when you take care of your son, you take care of his girl, and you take care of his baby while he get his motherfucking professional career off the ground. Right? There is no motherfucking 2 grand.
Is there ever
You just
an
put-
extra
Corey just recorded a motherfucking documentary with me that I'm pitching to Netflix. He don't think I can get a lick?
Right.
If Corey just recorded a documentary with Zoe, then he probably believes that he's gonna get his money back. But I'm gonna tell you why I think this all, blew up.
Everybody talk about the nigga hey, Zoe can't get a lick.
Hey.
Zoe ain't gonna get no lick. He just filmed a documentary with me.
Right.
Listen, man, if you had a problem with me this whole time, pull me to the side. For real, pull me to the side. But I'm real. I'm not a cap. I tell the truth. I stand on it. No, you got an issue with me and you not speaking on it, and you say you don't smile with niggas, but you smile with me. Why would you do that? If you respected me, you would go, I got too much respect for you to let you If you really wanted it and you needed it, right, and you felt like I owed it to you, do me a solid if you do respect me.
Hey, this is the Poor Black Man. I hope you guys enjoyed the highlights from the Kraig Facts podcast and my semi-colorful commentary I honestly believe this is all a result of COVID-19 and Corey not being able to make money like he's used to making money. It shouldn't have ever came to this when you had, one of the best podcasts, several years of running. Like it's like the Rockefeller broke up, I mean, it's just sad. It's just sad. So we'll see what happens. I think Corey's on tonight. I don't be keeping up. We'll see what happens. I appreciate your time. I respect your time. I respect your intelligence. Let's have this conversation in the chat. As the poor black man, I'll holla.